I was in the kitchen pouring coffee, the morning calm and ordinary, until I heard a scream. Sharp, short, and gone in a flash. I froze. My daughter Mira was in the garage painting. I called her name. No answer. I stepped outside and noticed the door ajar, and then the red streak. Not paint, blood. Heart pounding, I ran into the garage. Mira was collapsed on the floor, her white shirt soaked in red, hands trembling, legs twisted. Her face was pale, her eyes wide. I dropped beside her, screaming her name. That's when I saw the hole in the wall, the smell of gunpowder, and across the street, Debbie's front door, closed. I grabbed my phone, dialed 911, begged for help. As I held Mira, whispering that she'd be okay, I looked up and knew who did it. I didn't need to see her face. I already knew. Mira wasn't like most kids, and I don't mean because of her neuromuscular condition. She had this inner light, this joy that touched everyone around her. She spun around barefoot on hardwood floors, giggling in mismatched socks. Every evening, she'd turn on music and dance until she collapsed into laughter. She loved colors, truly loved them. Every drawing had rainbows, even her stick figure houses and clouds. Once she said, "I think colors are how God speaks when he's quiet." Despite her challenges, braces on her legs, trouble with balance, she never let it stop her. She made friends with the janitor, the lunch lady, the stray cat who never came but whom she still waited for, whispering, "Maybe it's having a hard day." Mira believed in people, even those who didn't deserve it, including Debbie. She once drew Debbie's house and left the crayon drawing in her mailbox, stick figures holding hands. Debbie never even looked at it, but Mira kept waving to her every single morning. When we moved into the neighborhood, it felt like a dream. Quiet streets, trimmed lawns, friendly faces. It was the kind of peace we'd longed for. Then came Debbie. She never greeted us, just peeked through half-closed blinds, watching. When Mira waved, Debbie stared. Soon, notes started showing up. "Sidewalk must be clear," referring to Mira's small ramp. "Chalk drawings violate community standards." Mira had just spent hours covering the walkway in butterflies. We tried to comply, to be kind, but it kept escalating. More notes, more silence. Then came the whispers at HOA meetings, that families like ours were hurting property values. The friendliness around us began to fade. Neighbors stopped waving, doors closed quicker. The quiet hostility was deafening. One day, Debbie hosed down Mira's chalk art right in front of her. Mira didn't understand, and I didn't know how to explain that some people just hate what they don't understand. It was a peaceful Saturday morning. Pancakes on the table, birds outside. Mira had rushed to the garage to start a new chalk mural, her sky garden with rainbow wings. I heard her humming, then a loud crack, one that didn't belong in a neighborhood like ours. I ran. She was on the floor, chalk scattered, blood pooling. Her hand still held a broken piece of chalk, her cheek torn, blood soaking her shirt. She looked at me and whispered, "It hurt." I called 911. My hands were shaking as I tried to stop the bleeding. Then I saw her, Debbie, standing in her driveway, gun in hand. Calm, blank-faced. She muttered, "It was an accident." She didn't come help, didn't call anyone. She just stood there, as if she had knocked over a cup. The paramedics came. Mira was rushed away, and Debbie? She wasn't arrested, wasn't even handcuffed. She went inside and slept in her bed that night, while I sat in a hospital holding blood-stained clothes, praying my daughter would live. Mira survived, stitched, bruised, forever changed. But while we sat by her hospital bed, Debbie was already rewriting the story. She posted in the neighborhood group, "Fear made me act, just trying to protect my home." People believed her, said she was just scared, that it was a misunderstanding. The HOA? Silent. Neighbors stopped texting. Our GoFundMe for medical bills was called suspicious. They said we wanted attention, but we couldn't let the lies stand. We hired a lawyer, Denise, strong, relentless. She helped us build our case, medical records, HOA complaints, security footage, everything we'd kept, hoping someone would one day listen. Eventually, we told our story to the media, showed Mira's scar, her butterfly clips, her stolen innocence. People finally saw. In court, Debbie played the victim, tears, excuses. But Mira's quiet presence said more than words ever could. The verdict? Guilty. Debbie was taken into custody. No cheers, just release. We moved soon after. A smaller home, no HOA. Mira has her own art room now. She dances again, slower, but still spinning, still trying. And when she asked me, is it okay to be happy again? I told her, it's not just okay, it's how we heal.